The software business changed dramatically due to the COVID pandemic. Budgets tightened, and new business became harder to bring in. For companies without a strong customer foundation and a plan to keep and grow existing customers, weathering the storm proved difficult. This is Club Revenue, and I'm Cornelius Willis. The post-sales revenue metric of net dollar retention is becoming the benchmark for companies with recurring revenue subscription models. The sale no longer occurs only at the beginning of the customer relationship. Customers' trust and business is won throughout the customer journey. To grow within your customer base, you have to have a track record providing value. Sadly, that's not the experience for many customers. Gartner found that 44% of technology buyers feel that most of their vendors don't consistently work to help them maximize the value they're getting from their purchase. Building a strong team that provides products and services aligned to the needs of the customer as they grow is something Michael Megerian knows a lot about. Yello is helping companies manage and mature their hiring process and recruiting operations workflow by providing a cross-functional team aligned to their goals. They started 12 years ago with large campus recruiting programs and then expanded into general professional recruiting through a remarkable strategy. Michael, we're excited to have you on Club Revenue. Let's dive right in. Could you take us through your land and expand strategy?
Our focus has always been on landing global enterprise companies as quickly as possible, then demonstrating value and success, then growing the client partnerships. We actually refer to it as land, expand, and expand again. And it's interesting because sales reps naturally want to create the largest deal they can. However, with that comes added complexity, extended cycle time, and risk of reducing your conversion rates. And so we look at the maturity of the prospects recruiting programs and match that to our solution bundles, which are structured in a good, better, best structure. We can also restrict the use of the original license to specific teams and business units within that global organization. And from there, we focus on implementing and demonstrating success and value for the client. Then we grow the partnership, expanding to additional teams, regions, business units, and expanding the solution suite based on the next level of maturity.
So, not just land and expand, but land, expand, and then expand again. Are there different land and expand again teams?
Yeah, we have an account-based model, and our client-facing teams partner very closely together. So we have AEs and solution consultants that manage the land process. And then once we land a new client partner, we align a client success rep. So the AE becomes really responsible for the client partner's overall recruiting strategy, long-term goals, and executive relationships. And client success is really there to drive utilization and adoption and ensure the client is successful. And they all partner very closely together. So we map out the contacts at the client organization, and they're partnering closely to do quarterly business reviews, monthly check-ins, executive business reviews, ensuring that we're aligned regarding the strategy and the future goals of the organization.
Are there signals that you get from a customer that tells you that they're ready for an expansion sale?
Yes, it's part of best-in-class enablement. And we looked at all of those add-ons and the components that enable the client to move further through the recruiting operations workflow. We developed discovery questions that help the clients and our team better understand each other. And so we enable our AEs and CSMs with these. And it's important to note that they're really persona-based. So if you're speaking to a VP of talent, they get up every day and are focused on something very different than an individual campus recruiter. And finally, we have client marketing and prospecting that's aligned to the maturity in the white space model. So we can be very specific and align our messaging to the next journey that the client will have.
Fascinating strategy, Michael. Having the right signals for expansion can lead to really powerful revenue growth. In fact, we have some interesting metrics around that. Holly Proctor has more to tell us. Holly?
The focus on future goals of a business is imperative for companies looking to grow and not just retain their customer base. Unfortunately, many account managers are spending their energy in the wrong places. 88% of account managers believe that servicing an account above and beyond is the best way to grow an account, and that is just not the case. Gartner found that while high levels of customer service leads to greater account retention, it does not lead to account growth when compared to low levels of customer service. If the level of customer service doesn't lead to significant account growth, what does? customer improvement, or the way account managers provide customers with new perspectives on how to operate their business and a vision forward can drive customer growth by 45%. Instead of having account teams focus on product success or service, which can be backward-looking, enable your teams to have forward-looking conversations with their customers. Working towards above-average customer improvement leads to a 94% increase in the likelihood of account retention, while providing the additional benefit of keeping competitor consideration during the renewal cycle at bay. All of this means more growth within your account base, which helps drive net dollar retention even higher. Back to you, C-Dub.
Holly Proctor, always enlightening. Now, Michael, how do you prioritize expansion opportunities? And what are some of the tools you use internally to do that?
There really is a natural path created with our good, better, best solution bundle concept. And as the client adopts and achieves success, it becomes ideal for them to solve the next challenges in their recruiting operations workflow. And we leverage the success within that team, within that company that we landed. So all sales teams are looking for referrals into another organization. And it can really be the same within one global company. You can look for referrals into other teams, regions, and business units within that company. One great example is there's a natural expansion path for us landing in the campus recruiting side of the business, then expanding into the general or experience recruiting side, specifically with global interview scheduling.
With your client success team communicating the changes they're making for the client and the account management team trying to build revenue, are there conflicts that come up? And if so, how do you minimize those conflicts?
We've mapped out the journey and the workflows for the team members and the responsibilities they have. And this is just part of our standard enablement and training. And some are very clear and owned by one or the other, while others, there's more of a teaming aspect. And the goal is to get wide into these organizations, and different team members on our side are mapped to different team members on the client side. But we bring them all together for initiatives like quarterly business reviews, executive business reviews, and even our own internal account reviews.
And that's our show for today. Thanks to Michael Megerian for joining us today and giving us a look into this remarkable land and expand again go-to-market operation. And thank you all for watching. Join us next time for another real-world revenue strategy right here on Club Revenue.